Alex Bregman, Pete Alonso. Those are the two names that remain at the top of the free agency leaderboards as we get closer and closer to spring training baseball. I cannot wait for it. But where are these two guys going to play, and who are they going to make significantly better heading into the 2025 season? Both coming off of down years, Alex Bregman and Pete Alonso are really good players, and they would definitely help strengthen a lineup and lengthen a lineup as well. Now, Alex Bregman, rumored to be getting over $100 million, wants 6 years. That is a bit of a danger zone for a guy who had a down year last season and who has a declining skill set. He's not the same Alex Bregman that he was just a couple of years ago. And Pete Alonso did have a down year as well, but I think that was more of an outlier as opposed to something that we could expect going forward for Pete. So I think Pete's floor is 35 home runs and 100 RBIs, which is something that he had close to that last year. And Alex Bregman is going to play really solid defense for you. He's going to be a good base runner, not going to steal bases, but he's going to he's a very versatile player, and he could do a lot of things out there on the field, which ups his value as opposed to a guy like Pete Alonso. So I think Bregman is going to get paid more, but I do think Alonso is going to prove to be a more valuable contract because it's going to be shorter term, and Bregman might start to decline as soon as year 2 of his deal. There are a few teams in on Alex Bregman, most notably the Detroit Tigers, the Boston Red Sox, the Chicago Cubs, and my Toronto Blue Jays as well, who are in those sweepstakes. I found something interesting. A report came out. Dana Brown, he was speaking. Of course, the Astros general manager, Dana Brown, was speaking about Alex Bregman and about the potential of him coming back, and he was kind of speaking in a past tense. He said, we've lost Bregman. I don't know if this is a negotiation tactic. Of course, Bregman and Alonso are both represented by Scott Boras, who has not had great off seasons. Let's just stray off topic here for a second. Scott Boras got Juan Soto paid. Like, okay, whatever. This is a can't-miss generational player. He's going to get paid. Okay, maybe you squeezed a few extra dollars out of the New York Mets, but he was always going to be in that range. Now, go back to last offseason. I mean, Matt Chapman had to wait until the end of the offseason to actually sign his deal. Scott Boras has not done his clients any favors. So it's been an up and down tenure for him over the past couple of years. So I don't know. I don't know how much money Pete Alonso and Alex Bregman are actually holding out for. It's quite concerning at this point. If I'm the Toronto Blue Jays, I'm going to look at it from a Blue Jays perspective because this is what I want to happen. I would personally get Pete Alonso. Now, I think Alex Bregman is the better player. I think he fills a bigger need for the Blue Jays in the current moment in time. But Pete Alonso is a bopper. He's a bopper. He's a guy who is going to do a lot of damage for you in the middle of that lineup. And his deal is going to be probably 3, maybe 4 years at the high end. Whereas Alex Bregman, that is going to be an expensive deal. And we're seeing it firsthand right now with George Springer. That contract is an absolute disaster. It was great in the first couple of years. Springer showed no signs of slowing down when he first came over, but he was injured. Now he's started to play a lot more games. He's been involved a lot more. And you could see his performance dipping for the past couple of years. He is no longer the same player, but he is owed $25 million for another 2 years. So that's a tough pill to swallow if you're a Blue Jay fan, if you're the Blue Jays front office. And I could see that same exact scenario replicating itself with Alex Bregman, albeit he was never really an injury-prone player as was George Springer during his tenure with the Houston Astros. So it could be a bit of a different scenario, but we've already seen diminishing returns on Alex Bregman, and it's been it's been a decline over the past couple of years. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's not the same player, or he's not having the same success that he was having just a couple of years ago. So for that reason, if I'm the Blue Jays, I'm going to have to go with Pete because I think they still need a lot of power. I think he fits that bill a lot more than Alex Bregman does. Bregman's more of an all-around kind of hitter, whereas Pete Alonso, you know that he's going to do one thing, and he's going to do that thing very well for you. So I'd go with Pete. Positional versatility aside, he would probably be the DH or share a bit of first base time with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Then they alternate from there, but there's a lot of different ways that you can go about this. But I'm gonna have to say Pete is probably the most cost-effective option, and I don't know if that's what the Blue Jays are looking for right now, but Bregman could be a bit of an anchor in your lineup if you fast forward 3 years from now and he's just not producing to the level that you signed him at. So it's going to be interesting to follow. I can't wait for spring training baseball to start. I told myself that I wasn't going to get excited this time around because the Blue Jays hadn't made any moves, but now you got Tony Taters in the fold. You got Andres Jimenez, who I'm really excited to watch play defense. There's a lot of exciting storylines heading into the season, not just for the Blue Jays, but all around Major League Baseball, and it's truly the best sport on the planet. I cannot wait to watch these guys go at it, and we're not too far away from the season, so buckle in, strap in, and keep it locked on 3 Up, 3 Down for all of the baseball news that you need throughout the regular season, throughout the postseason as well, and the offseason, or whatever is left of it as spring training is approaching. But I'll see you all tomorrow.